Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm the host of Red Barn Radio, Donald Mason, and I'm here to welcome you to Red Barn Radio's 482nd live performance. Tonight, Red Barn Radio welcomes old-time sound of Montana Hobbs and Linda Jean Stokely, the Local Honeys. Please welcome to Red Barn Radio, the Local Honeys.
Funniest thing I ever seen. Lost John coming through Bowling Green. Started barefooted, no shoes on his feet. Begging on the wind for his bread and his meat. He's long gone, Lost John. He's long gone, Lost John. Lost John sitting on a railroad track, waiting for the freight train to come along back. Freight train come along, you ought to make a stop. You ought to see Lost John getting on top. He's long gone, Lost John. He's long gone, Lost John. Well, he came along by my grandpa's house, told me that he wanted to stay. Asked him what he wanted to do. He said 49 biscuits and a ham with me. He's long gone, Lost John. He's long gone, Lost John. Was Will, chased Lost John to the top of the hill. John got away, but he didn't go far. Found him a line in a patch of briar. He's long gone, Lost John. He's long gone, Lost John. Yeah. He's long gone, Lost John. He's long gone, Lost John.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. The stations listed on Red Barn Radio's main page, and many others, including WGAD.net, where you are right now. Also, stream Red Barn Radio to your computers and portable listening devices. Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the help of the folks at LexArts, who provide Red Barn Radio with this great performance hall and also oversee and develop a wide range of programming initiatives. We also thank their president and CEO, Nan Plummer. LexArts, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Planning a visit to Lexington or just looking for more information, Visit Lex is on the web at visitlex.com. We're more than just bluegrass. Campus Computer Repair Service is Red Barn Radio's computer maintenance source, offering personal and professional repair for home and small business PC, Mac, and iPad users. Their initial consultation and analysis is always free. For more information, they're on the web at campuscomputerrepair.net. Our thanks to Marco's Pizza for supplying food for our musical guests and volunteers. Marco's authentic Italian pizza with fresh ingredients and consistent levels of quality and freshness. You can find a store near you at cms.marcos.com. Red Barn Radio also thanks the great city of Lexington, Kentucky, and its mayor, Jim Gray. Remember, you can follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and hopefully like us on Facebook. Now here again is the host of Red Barn Radio to tell you more about tonight's performance.
Tonight, Red Barn Radio welcomes the Local Honeys. Born and raised in central and eastern Kentucky, the pairing is comprised of Montana Hobbs and Linda Jean Stokely. They are the first female graduates with the Bachelor of Arts degrees from traditional music at Morehead State University. We'll hear more shortly about these great musicians. Please welcome the Local Honeys to the Red Barn stage.
Thanks to everybody listening in. We'd like to sing a song that means a lot to us. It's a tune from Morgan County. It's called I Love My Honey, I Do. Sanford Kelly wrote this song, and Montana and I were the first female graduates from Morehead State University with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in traditional music, which we are immensely proud of. And during that time, we spent a lot of time in the traditional music archives, and this is one of the tunes that we learned, and we sang this at our last performance there. So it's kind of one of our favorite songs to sing. I love my honey, I do.
Down lonesome road.
the sea runs dry. Thank you. We just got back from a staycation. We stayed in Ireland for almost 3 months, just playing music and drinking Guinness. So that's all we did. So we had the opportunity to learn a lot of amazing songs. And one person that we met while we were over there is in this great band called Lynch. Her name's Rady Pete. She plays the concertina and the accordion, and she was probably our favorite singer we met. Oh, oops. But it's one of my favorite tunes that we learned while we were there, and it's called Hares on the Mountain, like Hares on the mountain. And I love the message of this song, and the first time Montana and I heard it, it was the first song that we ever heard this girl sing, and she opened her mouth, and I was like, get your phone out and you record this. And so we went home and like learned it like the next day. So this is one of our favorite songs, and she learned it from Shirley Collins, who's a wonderful, wonderful singer. But this is called Hares on the Mountain. Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. She smiled and replied, you don't know what you're missing. Oh, Sally, my dear, I wish I could wed you. Oh, Sally, my dear, I wish I could bed you. She smiled and replied, then you say I'd misled you. If all young men were hares on the mountain, if all young men were hares on the mountain, how many young girls would take guns and go hunting? If the young men could sing like blackbirds and thrushes, if the young men could sing like blackbirds and thrushes, how many young girls would go beat in the bushes? If all young men were fish in the water, if all young men were fish in the water, how many young girls would undress and dive after? But the young men are given to frisking and fooling. But the young men are given to frisking and fooling. I'll leave them alone and attend to my schooling.
do you kind of a new song that we've learned. We don't do only traditional music, and the way we see it, if people aren't writing music in this kind of style, the traditional style, then it's going to die out quicker than, you know, we won't have anything to preserve in the future, right? So this was written by a friend of ours out of Bath County, Don Rogers. He comes from a very rich history of Kentucky music and culture, and the Rogers family was actually credited with the first recording of the Rocky Road Blues, which Bill Monroe recorded. And Don Rogers plays in various groups, including Kentucky Wild Horse, and my favorite one, the Almond Butter Band here in Lexington. So this is the Junk Man that he wrote.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. The junkyard man has good times while the poor man has hard times. Full of transmissions, radiators, brake lines. For the junkyard man means dollar signs. Greasy ends, bloody knuckle strip threads. Tires showing metal where the word treads. A grease monkey's money on an oil pan means a T-bone steak for the junk man. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get them blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. There's transmission fluid in the bare dirt. In the backseat window there's a dirty shirt. The weeds growing up through the wheel wells. He'll crush everything he can't sell. There's dried up blood on the dashboard and a handful of change laying in the floor. The young people died before they should, but them rear corn panels look pretty good. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get them blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. Well, he's broke down by the roadside 'cause the alternator quit and the car died. He's got no money for his sweetheart 'cause he spent it all down at the junkyard. The junkyard man has good times while the poor man has hard times. Full of transmissions, radiators, brake lines. For the junkyard man means dollar signs. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get them blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard.
Well, thank you all so much for coming out. I know it's a busy week in Lexington with all the Breeders' Cup festivities, and we really appreciate you all making us a part of your evening. It's awful kind of all of y'all. We see some familiar faces. Glad to see some old faces, some old friends.
I would like to thank one of our friends for being here. He really had something to weave, and he didn't. He put off his weaving project at Berea College to be here with us. So we'd like to thank him for that. Would you like to enlist a guitar player from the audience?
We sure can. Should we do a raffle?
We've got plenty. Which one? Which one do we want? Jesse Wells. We're calling on Jesse Wells.
Jesse's a good sport. He's been outside in the cold playing with the Wooks this evening, and he's good enough to make some time and come out here. And he didn't know he was going to play guitar with us, but now he does, doesn't he? Linda's awful demanding in that way. She said, "You want to play? Yeah, come on. Let's play. Come on." Now what are we gonna play?
Let's do Brushy Fork of Johns Creek.
Okay, good. Well, this is a song that I learned last summer at Cowan Creek Mountain Music School in Whitesburg, Kentucky. John Haywood taught me this song, but I guess if I had to go by what a recording I've kind of learned it from was Roscoe Holcomb, who was a great old-time Kentucky banjo player. Find out more about Cowan Creek Mountain Music School if you're interested in spending a week in Letcher County and learning amazing music from awesome mentors. Go check that out. This is The Hills of Mexico. hills of Mexico. Well, having no employment, back to him I did say, 'tis according to your wages, 'tis according to your pay. Said I'll pay you good wages, on a steamboat you will go. And you'll spend the season working in them hills of Mexico. Well, along came that old steamboat, and back home I did go. How the bells started ringing, how the whistles they did blow. Go on back to friends and loved ones, and tell them not to go to that God-forsaken country in them hills of Mexico. To that God-forsaken country in them hills of Mexico. Thank y'all so much.
Sorry for all the tuning. Here's another tune we learned from Roscoe Holcomb, really. Or John Haywood, either way you look at it.
This is a real bluesy tune. Roscoe Holcomb was really great about learning from other influences, especially black artists. And Linda did some research and did some listening in the archives and found a recording of Sister Rosetta Thorpe doing something kind of like this, right?
Very similar. I'm wondering if Roscoe stole that one from Sister Rosetta Thorpe. But this is a tune I really love to play called Walk Around My Bedside.
Walk around my bedside, Lord, walk around my bedside, walk around. Well, when I am sick, Lord, walk around. When I am sick, walk around. Walk around bedside, Lord, walk around my bedside, walk around. Well, when I am sick, Lord, walk around. When I am sick, walk around. Walk around my bedside, Lord, walk around. Walk around my bedside, walk around. Well, when I am praying, Lord, walk around. When I am praying, walk around. Walk around my bedside, Lord, walk around. Walk around my bedside, walk around. Well, when I am buried, Lord, walk around. When I am buried, walk around. Walk around my bedside, Lord, walk around. Walk around my bedside, walk around. Walk around my bedside, Lord, walk around. Walk around my bedside, walk around.
All right, we'll do another one. Want to do Katy Dale?
Well, especially while we were over in Ireland, we constantly got confused with bluegrass music, which is okay. We love bluegrass music just as the next person, as all persons should. But, you know, you show up with a banjo, a 5-string banjo, they say, oh, bluegrass, you know. And we kind of say, well, mostly old-time music, old-time string band music, but we like to do a couple bluegrass numbers if people will let us, and this is one that we like to do a lot. That the Stanley Brothers recorded. I'm not sure if they wrote it or not, but the Stanley Brothers did this one. This is Katy Daly, and big thanks to Jesse Wells, who sat in and played guitar with us. Thanks so much, Jesse. His little girl walked in, so he's got to go play dad now. He's got to go sit with her. Isn't that right, Maddie Ray?
Well, come on down the mountain, Katy Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katy Doo. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We wanna taste the old Mountain Dew.
With her old man, she came from Tipperary, pioneering there's a 42. Her old man was shot in Tombstone City.
We're the making of that good old Mountain Dew. Well, come on down the mountain, Katy Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katy Doo. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We wanna taste the good old Mountain Dew.
watching Kate Daly. I'm the judge that's gonna sentence you. All the boys in court have drunk your whiskey. Tell the truth, I like a little too. Well, come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie do. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna taste a good old Mountain Dew. So to the jail they took poor Kate Daly, and pretty soon the gates was open wide. Angels came for poor old Kate Daly, took her far across the great divide. Well, come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie do. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna taste a good old Mountain Dew. Well, come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie do. Can't you hear us calling Katie Daly? We wanna taste a good old Mountain Dew.
Hey Rudy, how are you doing today? Are you having a good Breeders' Cup? That's our halftime rooster, which means it's halftime here on Red Barn Radio. We got a chuckle out of Montana out of that one. So that's called a win here in the Donald world. Well, so for all you online listeners, the trivia question for the week is, what country was the next frontier, as said by Montana, influenced by the crowd? So be the first person to log in to redbarnradio.wgad.net, be the first one there, and you will win a prize from our Red Barn Radio stash. Now, for those here in the live studio audience, we actually have some local honey here. For the one and only, almost, this one's a tough one.
Monty.
Monty not only wins the local honey, but probably the most likely to not look like a word. So I'll bring your honey special delivery over to you in just a second. Stick around, and after the show, if you have your social media devices, feel free to get some local honey on your Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You're listening to some of Red Barn Radio's previous guests, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Red Barn Radio.
Take me back to the place where I first saw the light. To that sweet sunny south, take me home, where the mockingbirds sing me to sleep every night.
Oh, why did I ever choose to roam? Take me back, let me see what is left that I know. Could it be that the old house is gone? Friends in my family indeed must be few, and I must face death all alone. Take me back to the place where I first saw the light. To the sweet sunny south, take me home, where the mockingbirds sing me to sleep every night. Oh, why did I ever choose to roam? I think of regret of the dear home I left, of the warm hearts that shelter me there. Oh, the friendly and friends indeed must be few. Oh, Kentucky, again I do sigh. Take me back, let me see where my little ones do sleep, where my poor daddy lies buried by, o'er the graves of my loved ones I long for to weep, and rest there among them when I die.
Thank y'all so much. We'll do a sweet little kind of a love song about leaving. This was one, it's not an Irish tune, but this was one that we learned while we were in Ireland in the pubs. This 67-year-old man from Montana that played Kentucky tunes that Linda fell in love with, he would sing this one every so often.
He looked and sang just like Roscoe Holcomb.
She wanted to stay with him or come home with him once. She couldn't decide. But this is one that Ron Kane, our friend, used to play in the pubs in the cobblestone, and a hush would always fall over it. It's a very sweet little song. It's called "A Dew False Heart."
False heart, now we must part. May the joys of the world go with you. I love you still with a faithful heart, but I never anymore gonna leave you. I've seen the time I'd have married you and been your constant lover. Now I gladly give you up for one whose heart's much truer. My mind is like the constant sun, from the east to the west it ranges. Yours is like unto the moon, it's every month it changes. When I lay down to take my rest, no scornful one to wake me, I'll go straightways unto my grave, just as fast as time can take me. I do, false heart, now we must part. May the joys of the world go with you. I love you still with a faithful heart, but I never anymore can believe you. I love you still with a faithful heart, but I never anymore can believe you.
We'll end on another one, another gospel one. Not end, but we'll end this short little set. We'll do a gospel number that we worked out together. Another Stanley Brothers is who we kind of learned it from. We were sitting in the apartment one day, and Linda just said, "I have just always loved this song by the Stanley Brothers, and I've always wanted to do it and sing it in harmony." I said, "Well, now's the time to do it. Let's do it. Let's figure it out." So this is Gloryland, and we got the opportunity to sing this at a lot of cool events in Dublin and around the country and stuff like that. We hope to keep doing it. So this is Gloryland.
When we were in Ireland, we sang this in Dingle for a man that we met. I fell in love with another man. His name is Michael Herlihy, and he is about 69, but he looked about 97. And he only ate cigarettes and hot whiskeys. That's all he ate. So he was thriving, to say the least. But he was this amazing accordion player, like you've never seen. And it made me want to play the accordion. And that sentence never came out of my mouth ever in my life until I met him. And we were staying in Dingle, and we found this little bed and breakfast. And we were just staying there because we were like, let's treat ourselves, because we don't treat ourselves enough, do we? Going to live in another country for another few months, we don't treat ourselves enough. So we decided to stay at this little bed and breakfast, and then we looked up where there was a show going on in Dingle. So we found this place called Chopa Chez Peel, I believe, and it's a. Can you say that 5 times fast? No. And so we found this music shop. And apparently, there's concerts there every week. So we get there, and I was getting real hungry. And Montana knows that I can be a force upon this nature and this world when I do not eat. So I was aggravated, and I see this number on the door, and we both had these obnoxious pink cell phones that we bought in Ireland, and I called this man that I didn't know. He said, "Hello." I was like, "Is there a concert on tonight?" I told him, who I was. Like, "I'm from Kentucky. My name's Linda Jean. My friend Montana's with me. She plays banjo." And he's like, "Come play this gig with me tonight." I was like, "All right." And he said, "There's no show. You come to the Mighty Session. Do you know where it is?" I said, "No." He said, "Find it and be there." So I was like, "Okay." And I hung up the phone with him, and he just sounded real ornery. That's my favorite kind. It's just ornery old man. I hung up the phone, and I said, "Montana, we're going to get along so well with this old man." And so we were waltzing around, and we're hungry, so I got to stop and get something to eat. So we stop in this little fish and chips place. We have some fish and chips, and we're getting ready to leave, and we pick up our instruments. These guys hadn't noticed us until we picked up our instruments, and they're like, "Oh, wait, stop. Will you play for us?" And we're like, "We're kind of looking for a gig." And they're like, "No, have a pint. We'll buy a pint. It's fun. Just play a tune for us." "Actually, will you play a tune for my buddy? Our buddy would really love it if you played this tune for us." And so we're like, "Well, all right." So we mosey down the street. We go with these 3 wild men down the street to this place called Dickie Mack's. We walk in there, 30-some wild Irishmen stag party. And they put us in this room and basically lock the door, and they're rowdy, and we're just playing tunes for them, and they're singing and dancing, and we played for them for an hour. Then as we were leaving, they said, "Okay, empty your pockets," and everybody emptied their pockets and gave us all the money they had, and we walked off about $70 from these guys. And
It's our first paid gig in Ireland.
But so we did that, and then we walked down the street and we found this place called the Mighty Session, and we walk in and we see this old man sitting there playing accordion, just mean looking. We're so excited, but we'd just been through that experience, so we're like, "Let's just get a drink." And he's like, come. So we have to sit down. I'm in the middle of a bouzouki player named Bat, and then there's Michael, and then Montana on the end. And he just made us play all these songs with him we've never heard or ever played in our life. And it was one of the funnest nights of our life. Forced you. He'd come on. If you didn't know the song,
The microphone, too. There was no, kind of shying away from the microphone. He was pushing you up into it.
Yeah, it was a wild experience. And so we had, all these women that would do Irish set dancing, which was pretty amazing. We got to experience that there. We had so many great experiences. But then Michael let us play at his music shop the following day when the concert was actually supposed to happen. And apparently, the day that we met him, he had just laid his sister in the grave, and he was kind of feeling, he had so many emotions going through him, but he was really happy to meet somebody that really had a strong affinity for music and their culture. And so he invited us to stay with him. We didn't want to put him out, but then finally we're like, "You know what, let's do it." So we stayed with him for 3 or 4 days. And we played this at his music shop after his sister had died, and he was really appreciative of it. So it says Gloryland. If you have friends in Gloryland who left because of pain, thank God up there they'll die no more. They'll suffer not again. Well, weep not, friends, I'm going home. Up there we'll die no more. No coffins will be made up there. No graves on that bright shore. The lame will walk in glory land.
The blind up there will see, the deaf in glory land will hear, the dumb will talk to me. The doctor will not have to call, the undertaker no, there'll be no pain up there to bear. Just walk the streets of gold. We'll need not sun in glory land. The moon and stars won't shine, for Christ himself is light up there. He reigns with love divine. Well, weep not, friends, I'm going home. Up there we'll die no more, no coffins will be made up there, no graves on that bright shore. All these national parks and roadside attractions and things like that out there, and it was pretty amazing.
In a convertible. If you
Yeah.
get a chance to see the Rocky Mountains in a convertible, I highly recommend doing it.
Yeah. we saw one car on the road smaller than us. And we drove that thing on the interstate, and it wind and semis blowing, and you couldn't actually see out of the back of the convertible, because I don't know if you know, that's actually not a vehicle, it's a toy. We realized this like when we were getting out of Missouri. We're like, oh my gosh, it was so scary because you had to keep the top down constantly. If you put the top up, you couldn't see out of the vehicle. So when you're on the interstate with all of our hair was atrocious for 2 weeks. It was, I mean, Montana had a dread. It was awful.
One big one, just all over my head, yeah.
It was horrible. So we made it through, and with the goodness in our hearts to do that for Johnny Doe. But it was pretty amazing experience. We keep just having all these great things kind of fall into our lap. So hopefully they're gonna keep coming, or we're doing something right. I don't know exactly
We
what
might
we're doing.
give up the music business and just do a professional like car service, and just if you need your car to go into like New York or Maine, you can call us.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah,
As long as it's in North America, somewhere in that region.
we'd be happy to.
You get one of those cars that drives itself, and you can, just sit in there and let it do its work. So for those who might not know, how did you get the name The Local Honeys? I know here in the studio audience, we've got these jars that are in unison trying to tempt us into opening one.
They're great.
Wouldn't it be good on pizza?
When is it not good on anything?
Well, my friend Stephanie Jeter and I started this group, and we were sitting at Willie's one evening, and we're like, what should we call ourselves? And she was like, The Local Honeys. And I was like, yeah, that's it. She's like, really, you think that's good? And I was like, that's fantastic. That is the best band name ever. Even Sir William Parsons has said that that's the best band name ever. So I really hold that to a high standard. But I think that is one of the greatest, most clever band names. And Stephanie gets together and plays with us every now and then still. But we kind of started it, and we invited Montana to start playing with us. So we used to play at Willie's like 3 or 4 years ago, just like once a week. We'd go there and play, and kind of started playing as a group together there, which was really funny. Like, we brought an auto harp into Willie's Locally Known, which was really weird, and a first for them. And so as soon as we got back from Ireland, Stephanie's involved in five bands, and it's really not feasible for her to travel with us all the time because she's a physical therapist, and she's got her hands dipped in so many things. She's a master pie baker now. I mean, she won 5 blue ribbons, and she entered 6 pies at the Appalachian Fair this year. She's our own little honey pie, and we love her, and we try to play as much as we can with her, but she's she's got her fingers dipped in pies or something else constantly. So it's really hard to get together with her, but she's an amazing friend, and we hope that we'll be playing some more music really soon with her. But we credit it to her. And finally, we made friends with a bunch of beekeepers. The Licking River Beekeepers Association wanted to be our friends because they liked our name. And we said, yes, save the bees. So we started playing at their annual meetings in like the Salt Lick area. They go down to the spillway once a year, and they have a big workshop and meeting and everything. So we're actually going to be playing at the Licking River Beekeepers School in February for their luncheon. And if you guys are interested in bees, or anybody listening is interested in saving the bees or learning more about hives, check out the Licking River Beekeepers Association. And we made friends with Hosey Honey. Diane Hosey hooked us up with a bunch of little honey bears. And so we made our labels. Our good friend Louis Magda, he painted a huge portrait of us, and it looks like it's on top, it's like a label to a honey jar. So he made that for us, and we decided to turn it into a sticker because it is made to fit on a honey jar. But trying to be as involved as we can in anything, especially current issues like that.
So one last thing before we get back into the music. This is race week here in Lexington. We were talking about the horses, but there's another type of racing that you all are familiar with.
Oh yeah, this
We
is a
are.
big deal.
Linda Jean and I and Jesse, we just played the world-renowned Woolly Worm Festival in Beattyville, Kentucky, my hometown. And if you don't know what woolly worms are, probably everybody knows what they are. They're the little black and brown caterpillars that are supposed
Stepped on a
to
few.
predict the weather. Well, in Beattyville, we have nothing else to have a festival over except woolly worms. So it's like 27 years of woolly worm festivals, and they have the grand champion races. So I too am familiar with races, maybe not horse racing, but woolly worm races for sure. They have a big long piece of twine, like 8 or 10, lanes, if you will, and you place your woolly worm on it. And you place your woolly worm on the bottom, and you are allowed to holler, blow on them, stick them with straw.
Berate
Yeah, a
them.
crop, it's a crop. And, you can get red in the face, and whoever reaches the top wins. And they have preliminaries and, semifinals. And then, the trophy that they give out for the Woolly Worm Festival is as tall as Linda. It is a serious piece of hardware. And I entered it one time. The last time I entered the Woolly Worm Festival, I got all excited because I found one on our front porch, and it was balled up, and I said, oh man, I'm going to put this in my woolly worm barn, because they have those. And
Daddy bought her a woolly worm
I
barn.
fed it leaves and stuff like that, and got all excited for it, and got there, put it on the string, and it never would unroll. It wouldn't budge, it wouldn't move. I embarrassed myself. I was like 10 or something. Embarrassed myself yelling at this thing. And then finally, I don't know who it was, somebody came up to me and said, honey, that ain't a woolly worm, that's a moth. So I was trying to race a moth, and I got disqualified. So that's my woolly worm story. I never did win the big trophy, but I've known lots of people who have.
Yeah. We actually, our friend is the queen of the woolly worms, and she made an appearance
Yeah.
at the festival as well. And you can get all types of woolly worm swag. Like you can get notepads, like sticky notes of things I woolly need to do. Lots of different things made out of brown and black pipe cleaners with googly eyes. So if you're in need, go next year to the Woolly Worm Festival.
So if you ever enter that again, you'll need a little bit of local honey at the end of the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's the
That-
secret weapon.
That'll
Don't
get
try
it
to
moving.
cheat
That would
next
even
time
get a
though.
moth moving, I bet.
Well, let's jump back into the music one more time, ladies and gentlemen, here on Red Barn Radio, the local honeys.
I don't belong to you. I belong, I belong, I belong to that still driving crew. Ask that boss for a job, just a job. He said, son, what can you do? I can line the track, pull a jack, I can pull a jack, I can pick and shovel too. Walking balls, walking balls, walking balls. No, I don't belong to you. I belong, I belong, I belong to that still driving crew. I'm gonna switch instruments on you for those folks listening at home and want to know what the racket's all about.
I always feel like a rock star when I play this banjo because it hangs down about to my knees.
I feel like an old-timey country star. This up under my armpits.
Well, honey, you are.
3 months in Dublin, Ireland was a long time for anybody, for two Kentucky girls. And even though Ireland was a lot like Kentucky, just the people and the scenery and the music was all like it, it still is nothing compared to Kentucky. So this was one that we worked out while we were there, and we like to sing for our friends. The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gathered.
song for my old Kentucky home, my old Kentucky home far away. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, my old Kentucky home far away.
I'd like to thank our guests, Montana and Linda Jean, the local honeys, for being with us tonight here on Red Barn Radio. We also like to thank those of you listening to our webcast and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. And of course, the members of our live studio audience, we thank all of you for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio to promote, preserve, and perform the music of Kentucky and the region. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Performance Hall at Arts Place in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Join Red Barn Radio next week as we present Good Music for Good People, an appearance with the Mama Drones. Mama Drones music is from the heart of Cincinnati. Their music rings with echoes of Appalachian mountain roots and old bluegrass traditionals as they weave a tapestry of colorful songs crafted from their American folklore influences. So be sure to add this great musical event to your calendar. That's Mama Drones live on the Red Barn Radio stage next week. I'm Donald Mason. Until we meet again, keep it spinning. Looks like there's going to be something special for this one. Once again, let's hear it for the local honeys.
Thank y'all so much. We asked Mr. Sam Gleaves to come up and pick one with us. Thank y'all so much for listening and tuning in and coming to see us. We hope to see you soon.
Well, there goes the train that carried my girl from town. I wish I had her number, 'cause I flagged her down. I wish to the Lord that the train would wreck, kill the engineer, break that fireman's neck. I hate the train that carried my girl from town. Hey, 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 hey. Well, now where were you when the train left town? I stand on the corner with my head held down. Now if I had my gun, I'd let the hammer down. Lord, to shoot the dirty round who took my girl from town. I hate the train that carried my girl from town. Hey, 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 hey. Well, now rations on the table, coffee's getting cold. Some dirty hammer stole my jelly roll. When I had all central, give me 609. I won't talk to that woman. I hate the train that carried my girl from town. Hey, 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 hey. train like every girl from town. Hey, hey, hey. It's enough to make you lonesome, enough to make you moan. This house she's selling when this train rolls home.